am Andy, the only furry YouTuber who films on an actual potato. Welcome to the second episode of Tub Talks, the series where I give advice to fellow furries and people who may want to join the fandom. Today I am going to be talking about the commission process of buying a fursuit or commissioning an artist, my personal experience, and just some tips and tricks to make sure that your commission experience goes as smooth as possible. The first thing you're going to want to do is look at your budget. If you can't afford a maker, don't commission a maker. Simple as that. After you've assessed your budget, the thing you're going to want to do is find a maker that's actually open for commissions at the time. What I did was I went on Furry Amino and I looked around and I found a maker that was actually open for commissions and I messaged them. If a maker is not open, don't message them asking them if they are or if they'll take your commission. It's pretty rude to do that to an artist. The next thing you want to do when you find a maker that is actually open is you're either going to want to message them or fill out a quote form. Now a quote form is a form that you fill out where it tells you put in what you want on your suit, what your suit looks like, what kind of features that you want, and you add in a reference image. Then the maker will go over that sheet and say, roughly this is how much your suit is going to cost for me to make. Now for my commission experience, I did not have to fill out a quote form. I just sent my reference image to my maker and they gave me a rough price estimate. After you've messaged them and filled out their quote form, you need to wait for a reply. It may take a day, it may take a week, but don't pester them in the meantime. One of the rudest things you can do is keep saying hi to a maker when they clearly do not have the time or they're not around their electronics to talk to you. They will get to you in due time. It may be a popular maker who has a lot of other people to respond to. Wait your turn. So after you've talked to your maker and figure out the price of your suit, you're going to want to solidify that commission slot. So this means usually giving a down payment to solidify your slot or giving them the full payment for your suit so they can buy materials. See, what I did was I paid upfront for my suit so the maker could order materials right away. After giving them a down payment or the full payment, you're going to want to go into specific details of what you want in your suit. One of the very specific things I wanted in my suit was Andy's tufty ears. That's something that isn't standard on most suits, so it was something very specific for my character that I wanted. Another thing is that he has a big nose. Now the maker that I commissioned doesn't usually do big noses. Most of the characters that Hay had made in the first place had smaller noses, so I requested that Andy be given a big nose. Once your maker has started on your suit, you're going to want to ask for work in progress pictures to see how your suit is coming along and see if there are any changes. Most makers will ask before starting on something, like say the head base. They will send you a picture and be like, oh, is this all right? Here's what Andy's head base looked like when it was completed. Now, what comes along with work in progress pictures is if you're not happy with something that's coming out, speak up. They're not going to know that you don't like what they're doing unless you tell them. So, in a very polite manner, say, oh, I was thinking the marking would go here instead of up here. Is there any way that you can adjust that for me? Usually, the maker is very polite and will say yes and fix it right away. Something that I really want to emphasize is be nice to your maker. If you're a jerk and just telling them what to do and barking orders at them and not being thankful, that can totally ruin your chances of getting another piece from them in the future or even other artists, because artists talk And if one customer is really rude and just mean to the artist, other artists are going to find out about that and they're not going to want to work with you. Now, the last thing, which I think is the hardest thing about the commission process, especially for me, is the waiting. Fursuits take a long time to make. Andy only took about 2 weeks to make, and I still was dying of anticipation. I wanted him so bad just to put him on and feel how soft his fur was, but I couldn't. I had to wait. What really kills you is the shipping. See, you know your suit's done and you're just waiting to get it in your hands. That was the part that got me. Shipping from where my maker was to me in the US only took about a week, which is really, really, really fast. Waiting for your suit sucks. It's something that you don't want to do. It's something that kills you, but you have to do it. You can't get a fursuit overnight. Now here are a couple tips and tricks for your commission process that may make it easier that I didn't do when I commissioned my first suit. First one, don't overwhelm your maker. Don't send them all the details at once. Don't tell them everything you want at once. It will be overwhelming and they will forget some things. So maybe when talking about the head base, only talk about what details you want specifically on the head base. Like, oh, I want the mouth to be completely carved out. And then when they get to the taping process, tell them about the markings, where you want them, which way to, where your fur is separated. When they get to the furring, tell them, oh, these are the colors that I want, and this is where I want them. And then when it gets to extras, tell them, oh, can you leave the fur on the top of the ears unshaved so it looks like tufts, or can you make the eyebrows really thick? Those are just some little things that really, really help the maker in not being overwhelmed when creating your suit. Another thing is to talk to other people who have commissioned suits in the past. Maybe something isn't feeling quite right to you and you don't know what to do. You talk to another person and you realize, oh, that's just a normal part of the process. Another tip on waiting for your suit, I know it's hard, but one of the best things you can do is try to forget that it's coming. It's going to be really hard because you're super duper excited, you really, really want it, but anticipation isn't fun. And just forgetting that you even bought a suit is sometimes the best thing to do, so you're not killing yourself over worrying so much that your suit isn't here yet. If anyone has any other questions about something I didn't cover in the video about the commission process, feel free to leave that in the comments and I'll respond as quickly as I can. If you have any suggestions for future video ideas, also comment that, because I love hearing everybody's suggestions, and honestly, I don't have a lot of ideas. So, yeah. Have a good night.
Hey y'all, it's Editing Andy here, and I just wanted to mention one more thing that I forgot to mention in the video, and is that when you get your suit, don't parade around and berate people who don't have fursuits. Being a furry who doesn't have a fursuit is not very fun, but most of us don't have fursuits, and I know that before I got Andy, I was like, oh, I feel bad that all these people have fursuits, I really wish I had one. So seeing somebody come in and be like, oh, I have 16 suits and I'm better than everybody who doesn't have a suit, really isn't cool, and I just wanted to get that out there and remind y'all to not be jerks. Yeah, thanks for watching.